Hello and welcome to today's Medical Innovations and Enterprise BSc Taster session. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Hina Kurata. I am a third-year Medical Innovations and Enterprise student here at UCL and your chair this afternoon. We're hoping this taster session will address those course-specific questions you may have and will help you to gain an insight on what it is really like to study on our Medical Innovations and Enterprise undergraduate program. So this afternoon, our speakers, Dr. Amy Lee and Dr. Pierre Gélat, will introduce you to some of the great science that you would be learning as a student of medical innovations and enterprise here at UCL. Dr. Lee and Dr. Gélat will also provide a summary of the Medical Innovations and Enterprise program, and there will be a Q&A session for the second part of the event. This session is being recorded, and this will be made available on our website following today's event. We're here to respond to your questions, so please share them throughout the event using the Q&A function on Zoom. Now, to introduce our speakers, we have Dr. Amy Lee, who is a lecturer on the Medical Innovations and Enterprise program at UCL. She has a passion in learning, exploring, and researching, as well as teaching in the interdisciplinary field of medical innovations and tissue engineering, specifically in the area of nanomedicine and developing the new type of materials for the next generation implants. She is also interested in business innovations and entrepreneurship, developing new ideas that could be a benefit to society. She is also a fellow member of the Higher Education Academia. And Dr. Pierre Gélat is an associate professor who's an associate professor at the UCL Division of Surgery and Interventional Science. He is a chartered engineer with a background in physical science whose expertise lies in biomedical ultrasound numerical modeling and metrology. He is working towards the clinical translation of emerging ultrasound-based cancer therapies based using in vitro 3D models of cancer. Pierre has extensive experience of working in multidisciplinary environments, both in industry and academia, to help identify and address unmet clinical needs. Over to you, Dr. Lee and Dr. Gélat. Thank you.
Thank you, Hina, for the introduction. Yeah, thank you all for joining. And as part of this taster session, essentially, we want to provide an introduction to the Medical Innovation Enterprise program. What is the need for the course? What needs does it address? And how you, as a student, if you're to enroll in this program, how you will benefit and what the career prospects are like. We want to discuss the need for commercialization of medical translation. Medical translation being the process whereby essentially a drug, a treatment goes from the labs to the clinic. And finally, as was mentioned, you'll have an opportunity to ask us some questions about life at UCL, co-curricular activities, prospective careers, and just basically what life at on campus is like. Um, okay, so Hina gave a brief introduction on what I do. So the reason we introduce our research interests is because we have what is known as the connected curriculum at UCL, whereby we try to inject some of our research into the program. Um, so I work on sound basically, sound to treat disease. So that includes cancer, that includes liver disease, but also I'm looking at how sounds can potentially negatively impact the developing fetus. We know that if um, someone who's pregnant works in a very noisy environment, there can be very detrimental effects, and I'm working towards quantifying that and informing public policy on the topic. Um, so here's an opportunity to get you involved, and I'd like you to try and take part in this. I think this is actually an important question in terms of the biggest global healthcare challenges because it somehow underpins the need for the Medical Innovation Enterprise Program. So please place your answers in the chat, and we'll review those answers in light of published data on this topic.
So chat has been disabled for the
Ah, okay.
people. They have been answering in the Q&A
Okay,
section.
okay, right. So, any interesting points being made? Is there a consensus?
There was curing lifestyle diseases and health inequalities. And I think
Okay.
the chat is, or not yet. And there's one in the chat where it's underdeveloped countries struggling with expensive treatments.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, these are very good points, and more broadly, yeah, I mean, it's very timely to bring up health inequality. So, in terms of the healthcare challenges, we have healthcare systems which themselves present challenges. We know about the NHS that is constantly in need of funding. But this issue is exacerbated in developing countries, which face additional challenges. Now we have mental health challenges, sexual and reproductive health, malnutrition, food safety, diabetes, cancer, environmental pollution, substance abuse, infectious disease, and climate change. So this was taken from a 2023 publication in terms of the top 10 public health challenges. I think all these challenges are still topical, but obviously this is an evolving list. So I thought as an interesting exercise, I'd try and ask the question to Microsoft Copilot, and here's a list of the challenges that it churned out, which is interesting. I think relevant as well, but obviously a bit different from what is in the published literature. And again, this highlights the need to, when we're looking at AI generated content, to try and get to the source of of this content. And this is actually what we'll teach you as part of the program. So, another question: what is the biggest killer in the United Kingdom? And here, obviously, we're talking about disease and health conditions.
So
So, yeah.
there's been several answers such as cancer, liver disease, dementia, heart disease, as well as smoking, heart and cardiovascular problems, stroke.
Yeah, yeah, I think all of these are true. But this actually came to surprise to me when I looked this up. I initially anticipated cancer to be on top of the list, but it's actually dementia. I think people are living longer with cancer thanks to better treatments and better and earlier diagnoses. But dementia is quite high on the list. Now we obviously have heart disease, lower respiratory diseases, stroke and lung cancer. So those accounted for over 200,000 deaths in England and Wales in 2022. And unsurprisingly, influenza and pneumonia are still top killers. I think not just in the UK but globally. But yeah, breast, colon, and rectal, prostate, lymphoma cancers make up the rest of the top 10 causes of death in Britain. Okay, so one of the challenges we have in the United Kingdom, even more specifically, is we have an aging population, and in the next 25 years, we're expecting the number of people older than 85 will double to about 2.6 million. And uh, as people get older, they tend to live with comorbidities. That means more disease at any given stage. and this leads to increasing demand for health services as their healthcare has become healthcare needs become more complex. So, what is the solution to this? So there's no silver bullet. By and large, I think the consensus is that scientific research into new and effective treatments is paramount to achieving this. So you want a better means of diagnosis, of detection, and also intervention. You want surgical procedures to be less invasive. If you can do without open surgery, that's great. So we have keyhole surgery, but also some of the treatments that myself and my colleagues are working on, which are ultrasound based, can mean that we can actually essentially ablate tissue, cut up tissue, in fact, cook it non-invasively using ultrasound. So that's actually being used in the UK, but it's not as prevalent as we would like it to be. And for this, we need a better translation of medical discoveries into the clinic. So you want this technology to be cost effective because right now we know that on the NHS effectively things are very expensive. So now, importantly, I don't know if you've had the misfortune of having a family member or someone having chemotherapy, radiotherapy, but these tend to be very debilitating treatments. And what we want is these interventions to be less systemic, so that they don't basically target the whole of your body, but only target the site in question. So this leads us on to personalized medicine, and also we hear a lot about artificial intelligence, machine learning, convolution neural networks that are there to help with effectively medical treatments. So this is particularly true for triage in terms of determining the priority of say someone in an A&E, but also in terms of better analysis of images to better detect and detect cancer earlier. And essentially, innovators and entrepreneurs, as well as scientists, play a key role in this process. And this is where I feel the crux of the medical innovation program is. It's for you to gain a broad understanding of the landscape of treatments. Obviously, you'll have knowledge. You'll be able to appreciate medical knowledge, develop critical thinking skills, and an entrepreneurial spirit to take new drugs and discoveries to market. So another main problem in the UK is that we have liver disease, which is on the rise, and this is due to obesity, undiagnosed hepatitis infection, sorry, and alcohol misuse. And right now, we're actually at a stage where ultra-processed foods are likely to be overtaking alcohol as one of the causes of liver disease. And this is also an important challenge, not just in the UK, but globally, that requires addressing. And essentially, the treatments we have right now are mainly liver transplantation, which is challenging because we have a shortage of organs, and you have the use of high risk donors, for example, elderly donors with comorbidities. Maybe they're not ideally placed to donate their liver. The cost of liver transplantation and the fact that it is a limitedly available procedure and is highly invasive. So a way in which we can make hopefully one day this procedure more streamlined and do without organ transplantation is with colleagues. We're actually looking at a process known as ultrasound histotripsy, where we fractionate tissue, we create a cavity inside the liver, and we can implant some hepatocytes that will then heal the liver. Uh, that's an example of early stage technology and how one day once we have proof of concept in vivo that one of yourselves may take this into the clinic as an entrepreneur. Okay, so I hope I've articulated the need for this program and where this fits in. So here's a bit of an overview of the program, and in a nutshell, this is where medical science meets business. Um, so in addition to doing to studying essentially medical sciences modules and developing an appreciation for pathology, anatomy, physiology, etc. You also have some core modules which are delivered by the School of Management. And also we have interactions with the Faculty of Laws here at UCL, which gives you an appreciation for patents, and for patent law, as well as where the whole innovation side of things. So what we want to do is to foster a mix of creativity and critical thinking, also communication skills, which are vital not just for as part of your degree program, but also to stand out in the job market and hopefully in the workplace in the future. So, Amy, do you want to tell us a bit about the School of Management?
Oh, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy. I'm a lecturer for year one and also careers lead for medical innovation enterprise. So in terms of school management, they offer modules for our student as elective as well as optional modules. So student over the 3 years, especially second, third, and fourth year, they have the options to choose school of management modules. It is important for the students to have those knowledge, especially translating ideas to medicine is not about just science, it's also about business. So students over the years understanding about accounting, entrepreneurial, finance, all these modules are really useful for the students to be able to become an entrepreneur or work in an organization in the future.
Okay, thanks. So one thing we pride ourselves in at UCL is the number of biomedical spin-outs that have arisen from the portfolio of research that is carried out. And so here's just some example. You've got Orchard, which is worth 392 million, Autolus 251 million, etc. So feel free to visit the UCL web pages. I think these slides will be available. I put a link here. And again, this relies on not just talented medical professionals that can be doctors, surgeons, but also engineers, scientists, cell biologists, but also entrepreneurs to actually create this. And uh, hopefully we're very well placed at UCL to deliver this kind of program because of the proximity to the London hospitals. That's the Royal Free Hospital, University College Hospital, but also the entrepreneurial hubs which exist and the quality of the teaching that we have. So more on that in a few slides. Um, so essentially, you're being taught by medical science leading researchers and educators. All of us have published extensively in our respective fields, and I've mentioned some of my research strands, but all of your course tutors will have a very impressive portfolio of scientific research, and all bring crucial aspects to the medical innovation and enterprise curriculum. So that includes expertise in tissue engineering, stem cell therapy, nanomedicine, organ bioprinting, and also non-invasive interventions such as therapeutic ultrasound, which I discussed earlier. And you'll effectively learn how to translate all the ideas that you may have, which may stem from all the scientific knowledge that you'll acquire, and translate these into commercial products that in the end benefit the patients and hopefully society as a whole, and address also problems in the developing world. So I don't know if you've heard about the Valley of Death. So that's essentially this funding gap which exists between the bench side, sorry, the lab and the clinic, and it's actually up to innovators and entrepreneurs to actually carry this out. So essentially, whilst there's a lot of funding available to carry out research, and you can get proof of concept in the lab, then the question is, how do you turn this into a treatment that everyone can have that's refunded, maybe by the NHS, but also by insurance companies, say in the United States, or more globally, depending on whatever healthcare model a country may have. So there's an interesting article on this, which I've put a link to, and called Lost in Translation: The Valley of Death Across Preclinical and Clinical Divide, Identification of the Problems and Overcoming Obstacles. And it's not just one obstacle, there's numerous obstacles. There's obviously trying to secure funding for that next stage, but then there is the complexity of regulatory bodies. And it can be a very long process. And this is something we teach you about. And it's important that regulation is in place. And we teach you also about the regulatory frameworks, not just in the UK, but also abroad. And it's good that we have these frameworks in place. But it's getting a treatment from the lab into the clinic safely. It takes time, and you have to prove the safety and the efficacy of the treatment. So we know that this can be accelerated. We've seen this accelerated during the COVID-19 pandemic. It can be a question of political will. It was also a question of carrying out specific tasks in parallel with one another. And obviously that saved time, but it costs a lot of money, and it also demands political will. And here, obviously, there was an emergency, and there was a political will to solve this issue. But it's an interesting article. I suggest you might want to read it. Okay, so more importantly, what you're here for, the detail of the Medical Innovation and Enterprise program. So it can be either a 3-year or 4-year program. If you stop at year 3, you end up with a Bachelor of Science, and at year 4, you'll end up with an MSci, which is still an undergraduate qualification, but which has distinct advantages relative to just a 3-year program, which I'll articulate in a bit. So in year 1, essentially, you carry out medical sciences, human physiology, data analysis, and you learn how to critically evaluate an existing startup. Year 2, that will focus on molecular medicine, research methodologies, what's known as the peer review process, the process by which science is published. You'll develop critical thinking skills, which are incredibly important right now, not just in science, not just as a future entrepreneur, but just to basically be able to critically evaluate AI generated content you may come across online, looking beyond the headlines and beyond fake news. You'll learn about intellectual property, the translational pathway, and hopefully end up being able to critically evaluate medical innovation research. So in year three, you look at financial forecasting, entrepreneurship, and you get to do a research project with one of the principal investigators within division of surgery and interventional science, and that's a crucial first step into research. So you also develop a business plan for a new medical innovation startup. Now, year four, that's particularly important if your aims and ambitions are to become an entrepreneur. You'll get to do a consultancy project. You also get to do an advanced research project. So more delving deeper into research, but also the opportunity to work on a consultancy project and develop advanced business skills and medical science skills. So uh, year one, you do a range of medical science modules. So that includes foundations in health, disease, cardiovascular and respiratory function in health and disease. So you have core medical science and core business enterprise modules as well. Year two, so you learn about molecular basis of disease, understanding management, and research methodology. So you'll also have the possibility to undertake business and or medical innovation modules. So that's you choose from a range of optional elective modules for this, and there's quite a bit of flexibility. And in year three, so you'll learn about global entrepreneurship, nanomedicine, stem cell therapies, entrepreneurial finance, etc. So quite a well-rounded curriculum, which gives you not only the basis in science and medical science, but also critical thinking via the medical innovation enterprise modules, but also entrepreneurship, finance, and business skills. So year four, as I mentioned, you have the innovation business consultancy and the advanced research in medical innovation. So all these aspects will give you basically the edge if you want to pursue a career as an entrepreneur. So one thing I should mention is that essentially you can start off with any program with the Integrated Medical Sciences program, which includes the BSc in Applied Medical Science, BSc in Cancer Bioscience, BSc Infection and Immunity, etc. And you have the possibility to transfer from I think year two, I believe, if you decide that the program you embarked on initially is not your preferred program. So one key advantage of the Medical Innovation Enterprise Program is that we have extensive links with a range of startups and companies, also the NHS, other universities as well. And this we will involve basically people from all these institutions to give you inspirational talks on the company, on areas of research, and which will help you keep up to date with the cutting edge in the fields. So we also provide you with essentially a background on how to protect and exploit your ideas, we bring in Sir Robin Jacob from the UCL Faculty of Laws, who's got extensive experience of this. You can look him up on Wikipedia. He's got quite an impressive track record, and he basically can teach you about the patent system and how it's important and how we keep up with patents in current age with AI creeping into everything. So you get to develop your communication skills. It's essentially something we do as part of the small group teaching sessions. We'll place you in groups and get you to communicate findings around specific topics and get you confident to speak in front of an audience. And Amy, do you want to say a bit about this slide about the hatchery, for example?
Yeah, sure. So in terms of UCL, it has a unique innovation space for the student. It's called UCL Hatchery, which is funded by the Innovation Enterprise at UCL. So it's exclusive to the UCL students. If you have new ideas, you want to translate your ideas to get sponsored by the Hatchery, you can apply through the Hatchery Accelerator, which is giving you a 32K of equivalent funding for 2 years and workspace for 2 years you can use in their office where you can start to meet with your clients. So it's a really good opportunity if you are in UCL, you want to team up with your colleagues or like-minded people, and then you will be able to use their sponsorships and also developing your entrepreneurial skills. As well as on top of that, Hatchery offers a business skills development as well entrepreneurship mentoring. So for example, if you want to learn about entrepreneurship, they provide you with 8 weeks programs. For example, you can have an ideation program and also you can have a validation program. So there's a series of talks and programs provided by the UCL Hatchery as well. And a wider community such as May of London Entrepreneur, they work closely with UCL Hatchery, as well as there are over 233 accelerators in the UK, where if you want to go in to start up your own business or brush up your business skills, you can always reach out to those opportunities.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so in terms of careers, because it's one thing to be interested in a given program, but you want to make sure that before you embark on this program that we have a track record of sending our graduates onto promising careers, and I'm pleased to say that we do. So we've had essentially we aspire to get our students into careers in the biopharmaceutical industry, medical technology, research. It can be either academia or private, knowledge transfer, consultancy, business analyst investments, policy making, regulation, governance, and also enterprise. So. Also, Amy, a few words about medical innovation enterprise careers.
Yeah, sure. So medical innovation enterprise is a bridge between discovery and delivery, if you think about that. And then it's important for you to understand, and then we provide you the basis to understand the science. But also, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to work in business environment or corporate, then there's also skills you can develop as innovation business and leadership. So what happened is that over the years, I've set up this Moodle page where specifically, exclusively for medical innovation enterprise students, so have been breaking into different areas of jobs people can get from this degree. So because as I said, as also Dr. Gélat, he mentioned about the translational pathway and value of death, where in the value of death, there's a great amount of funding needed and there's great amount of communication needed. And there's actually a lot of things regarding about regulation, about understanding of project management, business management, as well as understanding about healthcare system assistant management as well. So there's a lot of details that need to go into different parties, people working together as interdisciplinary stakeholders together. So that's why it's important to be aware of it and to be aware of the resources out there. So for example, students after the degree, they might want to be an IP attorney. They will be able to plan their journey at the beginning, where they will probably participate in some sort of workshops and some sort of hackathon at the beginning of their study, where they engage with people working in that areas. For example, on the second year, we have people talking about IP law. If you're interested in IP law, then you can meet with those people, set up your own connection. And on third year, you might want to take Insight Day or Spring Week in a specific law firm or IP firm where you can increase your experience. And then later, normally when people go into those experiences, they get more competitive and they learn those skills prepared for their employer in the future. So could we move to the next slide, please?
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. And this is about the entry requirement. Pierre, would you like to?
Yeah. So essentially, the standard offer, you require three A's, and you want a biology grade A, plus one from chemistry, mathematics, or physics. And in terms of GCSEs, English language and mathematics at grade B or six. Contextual offers can be made. So you can look at this on the Medical Innovation Enterprise UCL website. There's a link here on the slide. I don't know if you'll be able to access this later. But yeah, you can easily find that information online. So again, the subjects biology and either chemistry, mathematics, or physics with biology at grade B. Yeah, GCSEs, English language, and mathematics at grade B or six. So for the international baccalaureate, so you want 38 points. A total of 18 points in 3 higher level subjects, including 6 in biology and either mathematics, physics, or chemistry, with no higher level score below 5. So contextual offers can be made for 34 points. Again, please refer to our online prospectus for the detail. And you can contact me as well. I'm the admissions tutor if you have any questions about this. Right. So, yeah, Amy, that's on to you.
Thank you. So just a little bit background about myself. So I have a science background where I did my PhD in bone tissue engineering. But over the years, I accumulated a lot of experiences and I have an interest in setting up companies and also helping companies. So I have a few startup companies. I'm currently working on 2 startup companies where one is a health innovation community and the other one is a spin-out company where we trying to translating the early detection of osteoporosis. So my background is in osteoclast and bone tissue engineering, where I worked on osteoclast, which is specifically bone resorbing cells. In here, you can see that I was able to come up with a cell line, we're able to resorb the bone the same level as primary cells, which helps to eliminate some of the animal use. It's a big topic currently by the animal studies that's in the UK called NC3R, where they're trying to eliminate a lot of animal use. So that's where it comes to play as well. So we are also trying to reduce the amount of animal that use in research and then translating the research for clinical use. So in terms of also my other interests, I'm very interested in using Gen AI. So I developed several tools with using Gen AI. I'm currently also working with a careers tool that's working with Grand Challenge at UCL to trying to help students to learn about bridging the careers understanding in medtech, as well as bridging the gap for helping their mental health support when they're facing to choose different career path and learning about how to do interview and then to make their CV, etc. So that's just a quick background about myself. Also, interesting fact is that I'm also doing an EMBA at Global Business School for Health, and then that's really helps me to understand the healthcare management aspect of medical innovation. Okay,
Okay, great. So, back to employment. What I wanted to do is also give you some of the graduate destinations that and career paths that our graduates have taken. So we have quite a big chunk, about 25% that go into business management, 18.8% go into further education, and then the next slice of the pie goes into life sciences consultancy at almost 9%. And so there's a range of career options. You learn a lot of transferable skills, and you have essentially a lot of careers at your disposal as a result of that. And I've also put the mean salary for the BSc, and contrasted this with the UCL undergraduate average. So you'll earn more on average than the average UCL undergraduate with the Medical Innovation Enterprise BSc. Um, so what we want to foster is deep understanding of human health and disease mechanisms, and technology translation from laboratory to clinical applications, business and entrepreneurship and leadership modules, which are integrated throughout, and give you real world examples of consultancy projects in year 4. And so essentially this helps you develop your technical excellence, your business acumen, and your professional skills. And regardless of what career path you choose, we feel you're going to be well equipped to secure your dream job once you graduate. And about graduates, so here's a list of some of our recent BSc graduates and where they ended up. So you can see we have um, quite a range of destinations, and we have a track record also for those of you who want to carry out additional studies. We have a track record of sending our students to Oxford, to Imperial College, if they've done well. And yeah, so here's some additional graduates. So Roche Diagnostics, also yeah, more life science consultancy. So yeah. Amy, did you want to say a bit more
Yeah,
on
sure.
this? Yeah.
So I want to highlight also over the years we've been building up this ecosystem and community. So as you probably recall the slides before, that they all depends on the 3 pillars. The student have a very strong understanding of human health and disease, and then they're able to understand the translational pathway from lab to clinic, and also over this course, they gain business leaderships and also understanding business and how to input the ideas from viable idea into the real world setting. So we have a group of students who currently now working in LEK. So there's a good presence in LEK consulting. We're actually having a small gathering event with them. And also we have students working in market access as well as health economics. So in this online community we build with Medical Innovation Enterprise LinkedIn group, where we not just have our students, but also we have the companies over the years. We have 50 companies in our portfolio. So the student engage with those companies at their first year, and then if they stay on their 4th year, they might choose some of the company for their consulting project. And then they will be able to already building their connection from the first year onwards. And then in terms of the community contains the company, contains other people that are interested in medical innovation, and also our current and past students.
Okay, thanks. So I'm told that we have to wrap it up, and I think it's fair enough because I'm sure you have quite a lot of questions. So this is more about the consultancy project module, but we can answer these questions depending on what whether they're of interest to you. So yeah, thanks for your attention, and I'm sure there's a lot of burning questions, Hina.
Yes. So the first question is more science-based, and it's if there's a problem with liver transplant, being that there is not enough donors, would it be possible to bring in people while they're young, like 18 years old, to take a piece of their liver, which grows in the lab and can be used as a spare liver for transplant?
Okay, so I think. I'll say what I can, although I'm not a biologist nor a surgeon. I think one of the issues with this is if you could generate a whole liver from a piece of liver. In any case, the recipient would have to be on immunosuppressant drugs, and whilst the liver can regenerate itself, I don't think that this scenario is possible, but Amy has got more of a background in tissue engineering. So what's your take on that?
So first of all, thank you for this question. This is a very interesting one. First of all, I think this also relates to how public perceive hype and hope as well. So it's kind of not realistic today, and it's not going to be safe, like what Pierre was mentioning about immunosuppressant and mentioning about the complexity of the organ, and then removing part of a healthy liver that carries the risk, and then we need to make sure the storage condition as well, and then it has to grow full back to the functional. And then also currently UK law protects donors, so this plan would face serious problem in terms of legal and ethical barriers, as you probably know, as this donor would be probably 18 years old, and also there's a lot of laws regarding to how you handle those tissues, how you store tissues, and patient consent as well. So it would be quite unfair for them to do it, even though if they would happy with it, and then as only some people would probably benefit, there's a high risk of over benefit probably currently looking at the surgical interventions and capacity of doing this. And then a safe long-term idea is probably to bank the stem cells, which some of the clinical trials, if you look at the clinicaltrials.gov, you might be able to identify some of the study are able to translate stem cells therapy, but we need to take a closer look and be very critical about those approach. So, stem cell might be an option, and then regenerative medicine, tissue engineering using scaffold may be an option. But for now, the best approach is to improve organ donation rather than having removing the spare tissue, from my point of view.
Mm. Thank you so much. And we have another question, which is, does this course require medical knowledge, and do we learn the science along the way?
So the answer to the first question is beyond A-level biology, no, it doesn't require medical knowledge. And yes, you will learn the science along the way. So the prerequisites are as I outlined them. So as long as you meet the entry requirements, we teach you everything that you need to know. I think what does help is obviously a passion for medical sciences and the desire to learn more about this, but also a passion for all the other topics peripheral to this. Wanting to be a better communicator, also wanting to critically analyze things, and to basically just develop skills in science as well as business.
Mhm. And we have another question of how common is it to transfer to a graduate degree of medicine?
Okay, so yeah, we do get asked that. So you cannot transfer from any year of medical innovation and enterprise to MBBS. If you want to study MBBS, you need to do so from scratch. We have had some students who decided to do that, but it's separate. Unfortunately, you can't say go from year after year one of MIE, you can't go into year two of MBBS.
Okay, and there's a question of where can we learn more about ultrasound histotripsy?
Okay, so I will put a link to the focused ultrasound well, actually yeah, so if you Google focused ultrasound foundation, so they're a US based charity, although they have a wing in the United Kingdom, and they've done a very good job of actually putting all this information together for patients and for doctors, for scientists. So Hina, do you mind looking this up? So focused ultrasound foundation, and yeah, put the link in the chat. Thanks. Any other
Yes.
questions?
Yes, there is more about if we could go into graduate medicine afterwards. And there's another question of what are the main differences between biomedicine and this course?
So biomedicine will not have the business and entrepreneurship component associated with it. So Amy, do you want to maybe answer this one?
Yes, I think I agree with what you just said. So in terms of biomedicine, it depends on the curriculum. So we have a very strong practical aspect because we are within the integrated medical sciences. So there's a lot of applied aspect of it, and then we have connections in terms of with startup companies. So we're bringing in the real practice of entrepreneurship as well as the linkage between School of Management as well. So I think that would be the key difference.
Yes, and there is more question of what is an example of a student idea from this course that made it beyond the university stage, and what do you think made it successful?
Uh, sorry, can you repeat the first part of the question? What is the
Yes, so what is an example of a student idea from this course that made it beyond the university stage, and what do you think made it successful?
um so
I can maybe,
students did you say idea?
yes.
Yes, student idea.
Um Amy, perhaps you want to take that one. I don't because
Yeah, sure.
we have people who've actually created their own companies. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we have a person actually on our graduate. His name is Max. So he created this company called Flagship. So he was featured in BBC not long ago. So this company is a private ambulance company. So what they do is to help NHS. As we know, NHS are facing a lot of burden in terms of A&E, transporting A&E patients, especially when you look at A&E, there are 5 tiers. So for first and second one, they are more acute. They need more support. Normally, NHS will be able to reach that support, be able to help. But then when you reach to third to the fifth, where people tend to wait for longer time. So this student came up with this idea of bridging the gap where they'll be able to help those patients with approximately of 30 minutes. They transport the patient to the hospital setting. So that's an idea. So the second question is about, sorry, I forgot about second question.
What made it possible, I think.
So I think the very important area is to start up it very lean. So think about what is the minimum viable product or even the proof of concept. So it's very, very important to have that bear in mind. So identify the value proposition and think about what you cost the least to achieve in order to reach your minimal viable product, and then you'll be able to test in the market.
And I think also it's about identifying the unmet need as well, and this is where creativity comes in as well. The creativity and critical thinking. So and sometimes it's something that's staring at you in the face that you don't see initially, and then obviously identifying a solution and then delivering it to the patient, to the end user.
Thank you. We are short on time, but I think we could do one more question. And I think it's How competitive is this course, and is an entry exam or interview required?
No interview is required. However, one thing I would like to stress is that any of you who want to visit our facilities, do get in contact with us. I think there's a number of events that you can join. So feel free to send me a message about this, and we can arrange for you to see our facilities, our lab spaces. So an interview, no, we don't require interviews. Although, if you want to ask questions about the course, again, feel free to do that. But by and large, the entry requirements are as they are stated on the online prospectus.
Okay. And there's a question on how to message you, and if it's through LinkedIn or if there's any other way they could contact you for more questions.
So if you look at oh, actually, let me just put my email up. I think was it in there somewhere? No. It's yeah, you can find it on the Medical Innovation and Enterprise webpage. Hina, if you want, you could put my email in the chat.
Yes. Oh, I don't have access to the general chat, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, right.
But
Let me find it. One moment.
yes, thank you.
No worries.
And there's
Sorry, I apologize. I thought it was on one of those slides, but
yes.
clearly not.
So
Yeah.
I just put the Dr. Gillette's email in the chat, and then you also have my email there as well. So
Thanks, Amy.
All right. Thank you so much. And we've run out of time, and I think we'll need to leave it there. However, if you could please provide us your feedback about today's session by filling out our survey, which will display in your browser after today's event, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the comments, and I apologize that some of the questions weren't answered. We didn't have enough time, but I think if we have 2 minutes left, do you think we're able to answer one more
Yeah,
question?
sure, of course,
Okay,
of
so
course.
there's one question was, do you believe organ printing is ethical, and do you think it would be widely used in the future?
So that's a question for Amy, I think.
okay, so yes, I think in terms of this, in terms of ethical, you really need to be aware of what is currently in the market. So in terms of translation, there is a lot of hype, but in reality, what has been on the market in terms of organ, there are bladder, there are some sort of tendon repairing systems or regeneration, but very few of complex organ you'll be able to produce in them. And that means that if you are able to think about the manufacturing, think about the printing, and think about the complexity behind the tissue and understanding the science. And therefore, there's much actually less can be achieved than what we can actually think. So that's something to be aware of. Secondly, there's a new thing came out yesterday from in the news. It's about NC3R, so National Center for 3Rs, or replacement, refinement, and reduction. So what they say is about that UK is accelerating on eliminating animal models. So there is a lot of research going to 3D printing, organ on the chip. So if you're interested in that area, please take a look on that article as well.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you to our speakers, Dr. Lee and Dr. Gélat, for this excellent session. And I hope everyone has a great evening.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.